Welcome to Cost Atlas, the hidden cost of everything. Today, we open the books on the most expensive amusement on Earth. You have walked through Disney World, down Main Street, past the castle, through the crowds. But here's something almost no one realizes. You were never actually standing on the ground. Everything you saw up there was built to hide what's down here, and hiding it, making all the cost, all the machinery, all the effort completely invisible, is the single most expensive thing Disney does. That's the real bill at the most magical place on Earth. Not the ticket, the illusion. So, what does it really cost to make the magic look effortless? Start with what you can see. Walt Disney World isn't a park. It's a city. Around 25,000 acres, nearly twice the size of Manhattan. 4 theme parks, 30 odd hotels, its own power, its own water, its own roads, and its own people. Over 4,000 cast members. The largest single site workforce in the United States. Keeping all that running costs an estimated $27 million a day, around $10 billion a year, roughly $19,000 every minute. And it never stops at 3 in the morning. With the castle dark and the ride still, the meter is still running. Peen? That's a staggering number. But it's only the visible half of the part above the line. Because the truly expensive idea behind Disney World isn't running the city. It's making sure you never once see that the city is there. Beneath the Magic Kingdom is a second city. Disney calls them the Utilitors, a network of tunnels covering around 9 acres, almost 400,000 square feet of hidden corridors, kitchens, locker rooms, rehearsal halls, a whole working world directly under the feet of every guest. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. The Magic Kingdom isn't built on top of these tunnels. The tunnels are built on the real ground, and the park is built on top of them. The street you walk down Main Street. You enter on what is effectively the second floor. To pull that off, Disney didn't lower the tunnels. It raised the entire kingdom. It moved 7 million cubic yards of earth, hauled from the lake it was digging nearby, and lifted the whole park about 14 feet into the sky. Stop and picture that. Before they built the castle, they built a hill the size of a city, just so the real ground could become a secret. A natural pause while 400 others. They went further. Garbage doesn't get carried out in trucks. It's sucked through pipes at 60 miles, an hour to a central plant. So you never see a single bin, lorry ruin the view. Every wire, every delivery, every worker in costume moving from land to land. Routed below, out of sight. None of this makes the rides better. Its only job is to keep the cost, the labor, the sheer industrial scale of the place invisible. Disney built an entire hidden city, just so you'd never think about how the magic actually works. And invisibility isn't a one-time build. It's a bill that comes due every single night. The moment the gates close, a second shift takes over. Disney repaints constantly, so you never see a chip. Replaces worn paths, polishes brass, replants flower beds in the dark. It washes around 5,000 pounds of laundry every day, so every costume looks new. Disney's electricity bill alone, runs about $100 million a year. The power draw of a small city. Because that's what it is. Every one of these costs exists for the same reason, so that the effort disappears. You're not paying for a roller coaster. You're paying for the thousands of invisible hands that make sure the seams never show. Now, building something this radical raised one obvious problem. You can't quietly construct a hidden underground city, your own power plant, and your own water system inside a normal county, under normal building codes, waiting on someone else's permits. The scale and the secrecy demanded a level of control no ordinary developer is ever given. So Disney got it. In the 1960s, it bought the land in secret through unmarked companies, so prices wouldn't explode. And in 1967, Florida granted Disney a special district, the right to run its own building codes, its own utilities, its own fire service. In effect, Disney was allowed to manage its own infrastructure, like a small government, purely so it could build at the scale and speed the vision required. It's a remarkable footnote. But notice why it happened, not for power for its own sake, but because a project this expensive, this hidden, this perfect, simply couldn't be built any other way. The control existed to serve the cost. So let's answer the real question. What does Disney World actually cost? It isn't the ticket in your hand. It's an entire invisible civilization. A hidden city, a second night, time workforce, a power grid, a self-run district. All of it spending around $10 billion a year. Every cent aimed at a single goal, making sure you never notice any of it. Here's the number to remember. Even right now, 3 a.m, the ride's asleep, the park empty and dark. Disney is still spending about $19,000 a minute. Not on magic you can see. On the machinery you can't. That is the hidden cost of Disney World, the fortune it pays, every minute, to keep its own price tag out of sight. That's the thing about the most magical place on Earth. The price on your ticket was never the real price. The real cost is everything built, buried, and scrubbed clean each night, so that you'd never have to think about cost at all. That's what we do here. We find the bill that isn't on the receipt for the things you thought you already understood. That was the hidden cost of Disney World. What the ticket says, $130. What the day actually costs, $27 million. What the year actually costs, $10 billion. Almost all of it spent on machinery you will never see. This was Cost Atlas, the hidden cost of everything. See you in the next one.